Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming, if you know what I'm saying. Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for a cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap into fall with Manscaped? Join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code DelphinPod, DELFINPOD. You'll get 20% off and free shipping with the code DelphinPod. Welcome to Countdown to Infinity, a Marvel's Avengers podcast. We talk all things Marvel Cinematic Universe and Zombieverse. What? Do you eat brains?
The Marvel Cinematic Multiverse.
There we
in this
go.
Case, yeah.
Well, there will be a new name, I think, at some point. They'll just have to call this like the
MCM.
The MCM, the Man Crush Mondays.
Yeah, exactly.
We talk all of the movies. We've been reviewing. We don't review things. We just love to talk about the possibilities and all of the things surrounding the new Disney Plus streaming show, the first animated anthology in the MCU. What If? I think we've been calling it Watching What If. Sophia's taking a break because school started, and we're talking about episode 5, What If Zombies with some zombies?
Yeah, that's literally the title of the episode.
People back
What
from the
if
dead.
Zombies.
Yeah. My name's Emmanuel.
Hey, I'm Andrew.
What's up? It's John.
And much like this episode, I'm scared because these boys are going to eat me.
I'm gonna eat that ass out.
Oh, a little, you got a little brown on your...
What?
Raw.
Okay. Edit point. But John Andrew, you haven't been on a What If episode. I know we just talked about Shang-Chi. Actually, you've done 3 episodes in the last week for Countdown to Infinity, 1 behind the paywall. But what are your thoughts on What If so far? Because I don't think we've talked about What If yet, have we?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think we actually, me and John were actually on the recap or the episodes of 2 of the shows. I don't think we were on the Loki one. You might not have even done one for the Loki one. But
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we've been on the recap for Falcon Winter Soldier and for WandaVision.
WandaVision.
And so, this show is like everything else that Marvel has. I mean, listen to my Shang-Chi thoughts. But like everything else Marvel has released, I thought that it was going to be it. You know, like, oh, this is where I get burnt out, and this is where they're not going to get me. I'm probably not going to watch this show. I'm not going
Much
to watch
like
this
Michael
movie.
Jackson's documentary, This Is It. That's what you were thinking of in your head.
Yes, I thought you were going with a different documentary that's on
Oh,
Hulu. And I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want.
Oh.
Yeah. And so anyway, I thought I was gonna get burnt out, and every episode has been better than the last. So
Wow.
it starts off with pretty slow with the Captain Carter. I was talking to a friend of the pod, Rob. Me and
That
him.
almost rhymes. That's really good.
Me and
a shirt.
Rob obviously work at a comic book store, so we were talking about it on how he couldn't get into it because the first 10 minutes of this Sharon Carter episode, it wasn't kind of doing it for him and stuff like that.
Because he's sexist.
Yeah, exactly.
Friend of the pod, sexist Rob.
Now he's just been unfriended.
Now it's a limerick.
Now he's more of an acquaintance.
There once was a friend of the pod who was sexist, whose name was Rob. And
This
I
joke is
see.
going on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think he was playing off the rhyming one.
And honestly,
earlier.
this is a massive audience, so he's legit canceled now.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Rob. You can't do anything else. Anyway, Rob said it didn't do it. So, and he said he put it on in the background, so he wasn't really paying attention in the first place. But on how he couldn't get into it and stuff like that. And I was like, man, you really need to stick with it. Because the second episode hits you with that Chadwick Boseman, and it's just out of respect, you should at least watch that episode because of this is literally one of his last roles that he ever got to play. And so, really, really awesome episode there. The voice cast just keeps blowing my mind. We're so spoiled that we're like, oh, that episode sucked. I was like, do you not know what just happened, though? Like, just to get all the acters to do their voices is fucking awesome.
These are like full movies in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and so it was really, really cool with this past episode. But yeah, I even like the Hank Pym one, and even the one before that, which was what was that one?
The Hank Pym one was the.
What was the one before this
third
one?
Doctor Strange.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange getting even crazier and darker, and kind of almost setting it up for Shang-Chi with a little bit of the demonic stuff, and so a little bit of an alley-oop there. That if you watch them, you kind of got a little bit more of a satisfaction. But all of it ultimately building to the multiverse aspect of it. Also, the fact that this is MCU canon really does intrigue me a little more because. You know, you can jump over. What if they debuted the X-Men in this series and then they pulled them into the MCU because they're like, it's canon. Let me just open up this portal and there they are.
Yeah.
That would be so big, and I think that would be something that would get people to take this show seriously. I feel like a lot of people aren't taking it seriously because it's a cartoon. We bumped into this in the Clone Wars thing. I only watch Star Wars, the live-action iterations, because cartoons are for kids or whatever.
But guess what? We're not kids.
Watch the Boondocks. Watch Rick and Morty. All this stuff that, Rick and Morty.
Blue's Clues.
Yeah, man. That message from Steve. Really,
for adults.
It choked my ass out.
Yeah, that's right. It's not for kids.
He choked my ass out. I liked it.
What?
Yeah, and so I've really enjoyed this series for sure, and I will defend it till the grave because it's one of the most comic booky things that the MCU has done.
It even looks like a comic book.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is appropriated just for the film, medium, I think, and you're kind of twisting it and making it its own thing because it's a movie, and so the fact that it's dealing with these the literal what if books, it's just really really crazy and comic booky, and I love it.
John, are you like Uatu? Are you watching What If and not meddling with it?
It was a weird because I think I was a little bit more excited for What If than Drew was whenever it was announced because I think What If comics are really interesting. I know Marvel has like a main continuity and then they have a bunch of other stuff that it's not like DC where everything kind of fits in. And everything's kind of canon. Well, DC has like the multiverse thing where everything is canon stuff, but Marvel seems to have like a main timeline. At least from when I was reading it, they would have like the 616, and then everything else was separate.
Earth,
and then but you get into really fun what if stories like what if Deadpool killed the universe, or what if the Punisher became Venom or something. It's just all these things where you're just like, wow, that's a pretty cool like story. Like obviously they're one-offs. And they're not, they're just meant to flip the tropes, the I guess like the character tropes on their heads, and for them to be doing a show that I thought was going to be like standalone, or I mean I guess it is standalone, but I thought it wasn't going to be like MCU canon.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And they're not small variations either. It's not like, oh, what if this tiny thing changed?
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Well, and these guys are straight up variants.
Yeah,
like the ones from the
I was just about to say
yeah.
that. It's like it's really cool to get this after Loki because now this does make this show canon. It does have like again, I don't know why people have a stigma towards like animation and stuff, but and even then, like what threw me off was the way this one was kind of animated. But once you start watching the show, it's perfect. Like the visuals are just gorgeous. You get into stuff that obviously would have cost like millions more dollars, like in live action. Like you have like Captain Carter fighting a giant like tentacle monster that you just can't render in real. Like if you render that in real life, it's
expensive.
The budget's huge.
Yeah.
You have like that Doctor Strange episode where he's like ingesting a bunch of like just mythical creatures, which are again you're just like, wow, you can't. This only works like in animation because like there's no way, or in a comic I guess, but there's no way this would have been way too expensive to do in live action, and even then it would have been you kind of have to work your way up to that, or else you run the risk of alienating your audience. But these what if like the show itself is like it's again it's firing on all cylinders. I think because the cast, most of these people, not all of them, but most of these people are the actors from the original MCU movies. Seeing them do like adventures with zombies or with demonic entities with Doctor Strange, or even getting murdered, I guess, like
and like a spy thriller.
Yeah, and a spy thriller stuff. It's freaking awesome. Like I think they're all. You can totally tell some of the actors are having more fun than others. I think Mark Ruffalo actually likes being a voice actor, and Nick Fury's like his. Seems to be just Nick Fury. Like there's no
iconic. Yeah.
There's no difference in the voice acting to like just his regular acting. It's just been a great show so far. And I know when they announced it, they showed a clip of a Marvel zombie like imagery, I guess, or they showed like something akin to Marvel zombies, and that was when One of my favorite books, like going, that almost kind of got me into Marvel Comics, which is funny because, like, I guess we had read some X-Men stuff here and there and, some Spider-Man stuff. But really, Marvel Zombies is what kind of opened me up into the world of, like, hey, look, this is, like, really cool storytelling.
And we did a pod, I think, on Marvel Zombies.
I think we
didn't
did it on
'Cause we
Dead
read
Days.
a couple
I think we did Marvel
Dead Days,
Zombies,
yeah.
Dead Days, which is, like, the origin of the
Walking Dead
of the plague
style.
Yeah. It was written by Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then the show has just been awesome. So, like, even just, I think one of my favorite things before we talked this episode of Zombies was seeing the events of the Incredible Hulk with Mark Ruffalo, like, animated, which is pretty cool. Like, we saw that a couple of episodes
It's supposed to be
ago.
Ed Norton. It's
Yeah,
supposed to be another
Ed Norton.
variant.
And also, it's really funny, though, because whenever you see him turn into the Hulk,
It's the exact same
the
way.
Hulk looks like the Ed Norton
Yeah,
Hulk. Like, he's animated that way.
This so far at least, it seems to be exploring past events, all things that happened in the previous phase.
In the Infinity Saga.
In the Infinity Saga, we've seen Thanos multiple times, and there are very direct scenes and imagery that is supposed to elicit a reaction from you as the audience to be like, "Oh, I know this." The Guardians episode starts like the movie does,
Right,
and it's really clever, and that's why I think I think before we potted, we talked like this is really a what if for the MCU, and the way that Robert Downey Jr. portrayed Iron Man. And that's the Iron Man that we're seeing as a zombie. But speaking of zombies, there's a whole lot of them in this one. Let's talk about what if zombies. So again, it pays a lot of homage to the films, but it also has quite a few segments that I don't think we've ever seen. I think we talked about how before the pod how violent this is and might be borderline rated R for kids, but I guess it's animated, so it doesn't matter. But we see people split in half.
Yeah.
I mean, all the stuff you would expect from a zombie movie. And in fact, I think Spider-Man talks about zombie movies quite a bit in this episode. But Andrew, what'd you think about what if zombies? And then don't talk about the kills, because I'm going to ask what your favorite kill is.
Later on, that's spoiler alert.
Oh,
shit.
sorry,
Now they don't have to
spoiler alert.
now they can just skip to the end and listen to my fucking kill.
We're both choking each other.
I just wanted to talk with my teeth closed the entire fucking pod. So my favorite
and I'm finished.
oh shit. Yeah, my it was really really good. I knew going into it. I was a big fan of the books, like John was also. This being my,
But John said it first, so
because it was yeah, it's true. Well, and
I'm just kidding.
mine was this and the World War Hulk. So these are the first two series that I was like, oh, I'm gonna complete all of them. Like I will hunt down every issue.
I think I completed Marvel Apes. Is that something?
Damn, this
Marvel
spun
Apes
up.
is
This spun off out of Marvel Zombies.
They fight each other. I
Marvel
think.
Apes and the zombies that fight each other. At
Yeah,
one point, too.
I read
And
that
so,
too.
I was a big
That'd be
fan.
fun.
Doing that and collecting that when I was younger, and I had watched the Spider-Man cartoons and the X-Men cartoons and them cross over and stuff like that.
And
so,
then of course,
the movies.
the Bryan Singer X-Men you love.
Nope.
The director
I'm just
himself, more than the films even.
and so no comment.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it was my intro into the actual comics versions of themselves. So reading the books and stuff like that, and getting into that, and then I did Blackest Night in DC, and then I went off there and plug for DC. But yeah, and
Why
so
am I laughing like Michael Jackson now? Sorry, go ahead.
and so I knew it wasn't going to be that for sure, because Robert Kirkman just, he's straight. If you've read The Walking Dead, how extreme Robert Kirkman can get. I will not say the word that I almost said.
Invincible.
Yeah, and exactly, Invincible too. That's where Robert Kirkman shines, I think, in being all sorts of fucked up. And so
He's sadistic, like in
book
his writing.
The book is that way too. Peter Parker eats Aunt May and Mary Jane until his stomach pops, and you're like, that's fucking disgusting, and also horrific. And so I knew it was gonna get,
Sandman kills another Spider-Man, like in the same way. Like
it's true.
he gets scared and then he thinks that's a zombie Spider-Man, but he really just kills a regular Spider-Man. And
he
just,
goes inside his mouth and fucking expands and blam.
blows him up.
But so some really crazy stuff there, and you do see a lot of a couple of homages in this episode too to the book, which how can you not? That's where you got this idea from. But I knew it was going to be different, and it was a good type of different. I still can't believe that we're getting the MCU voice, like the actual cast in a story, any type of story that's this way, that's having to do with zombies. And I'm a big fan of the genre, having grown up with the George Romero movies and them being such an inspiration as to why I like movies in general and, the process, yada, yada, yada. And so,
World War Z.
yeah, no, they're flesh eating zombies. So the concept has been a favorite of mine since forever. And it was really cool to see it in this sense and seeing everybody. The fact I know they didn't have Tom Holland, which was Spider-Man's a big character in this one, but they got someone that sounded pretty good, pretty much almost like him.
Yeah.
But and then when you're hearing Happy Hogan and as Jon Favreau, and you're hearing Paul Rudd and Paul Bettany, and I'm just gonna name down the whole cast.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. And then you get to
I
hear
mean, this
Chris
is
Evans Grunt as a zombie.
This is
I'm just kidding.
this is the most Avengers we've seen in a What If so far, or maybe even in anything since Endgame.
You get Polka Dot Man.
That's true.
This is what is it? You remember?
Kurt.
You know Baba Yaga?
What's his name? David Dalmas.
I can't pronounce his last name, which is why I didn't even try.
His character is Kurt.
I keep wanting to say Dalmasca, like from Final Fantasy 12.
Respect.
Like Dalmascian.
Das Malkian. Das
Malkian.
Malkian.
Sorry, David,
For
if you're
butchering
hearing
your name. But yeah, we're a big fan. Big fan. It was really cool to see all that and to deal with some of the darker tones. As soon as I saw a decapitation, I'm like, oh shit! Like they've already pushed this like way quicker than or way
Wong's,
further.
right? The first decapitation.
Yeah, there's 2 decapitations really early on, and I was very surprised. And I was like, wow, each episode has gotten progressively darker since the show started, and I love it because potentially this
Das
could be
Mulchin.
potentially this could be like this could be like tests for movies.
Yeah. And they start like move. I mean, shot for shot, each episode starts like a scene from the movie.
Yeah.
This one,
The Infinity War one.
Yeah, falling through space, and then suddenly, Uatu starts watching.
Yeah, fucking perv.
Like some sort of cosmic pervert.
Yeah,
some
he
kind
just
of,
fucking gets off on
You know
watching.
what? He's a cuck.
What if?
Uatu's a cuck.
Is
It's
it
true.
what if?
Yeah. Oh, and also, like, what if, like, he couldn't? What if the watcher couldn't see? He'd
What
have to
if the
fucking
watcher's
hear. He'd
blind?
have to hear everything.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck.
He's
this
the
sucks.
hearer.
He sees all, watches all,
Yeah.
does nothing.
He can't hear though. He just gets pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, how did he hear Doctor Strange when he was calling him in the last episode?
It'd
But
be funny if he broke character during this and he sees Marvel zombies and he's,
He's
like,
like-
damn, zombies.
and then he's like, hey, I'm playing Commissioner Gordon in next fall's Batman. I'm just kidding. Jeffrey Wright. Shout out to Jeffrey Wright though.
Yeah.
Have
Have you seen Westworld?
the movie? Yeah, fantastic.
Okay.
Really, really awesome to see one of my original Marvel Comics loves just get this far. I never thought that we would ever get it, and we would always pitch like, how could they do a Marvel Zombies movie? And I guess we were just in the wrong realm there because it works as an animated front
Yeah.
too, and I hope we get a sequel for it. Like all these episodes have been leaving off with like, there's gonna be
Cliffhanger,
another
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And so I hope we get a really good, solid continuation. And I mean, I don't know if it's been greenlit for season 3, but I don't know why you wouldn't, because you have more stuff that's coming out every day. And
Yeah, we'll see those Marvel apes soon, I'm
You
sure.
can also
What if
mine a lot of
Shang-Chi
like
and-
what if. I mean, I know because right now they're basically stuck on the movies, the Infinity Saga movies, but you can branch off like and do so
Yeah.
much more with
or
like,
just
this, like-
continue some of the stuff we've seen.
yeah, I mean, there's
What if?
dozens of moments you can take
Well,
and
now-
then just like
now
turn
there's-
another like
there's shows like WandaVision and like that they probably didn't
Black
cover.
Widow,
Yeah, Black Widow.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Shang-Chi.
And,
Yeah, you could see
Falcon
them
Winter Soldier.
just
And
seeing the stuff that was established years already.
I
to-
can already see it. What if Bucky had been Captain America instead of Falcon?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Well, that's
you're like,
the-
oh man, it's just
Get
like
those
the-
old scripts, baby.
Yeah, well, and that
What
happens
if
in the
they
comics
what
too.
if they actually cast Tom Cruise as Iron Man?
Yeah, man, that'd be
that'd
great.
be really
But John,
cool.
what did you think about this episode? What if zombies? Were you excited to see your favorite genres merge, Marvel and zombies?
It was really it was exciting to watch. I actually stayed up and watched this last night when it premiered, like around 2 a.m. because
Damn, you up?
yeah, it was. I was up.
Well, I texted you. And,
WYD.
oh shit!
No,
What
just saying.
are you thinking about?
Zombie.
Oh shit! You texted back. Zombies.
I'm eating
Oh,
it. Like
clown.
flesh.
Oh,
No.
I see.
It was a fun episode. I think I may have not had It took me a while. It sat with me for a bit, and I think it's because maybe I was a little too. In this case, my expectations were a little too high because of my knowledge of the books and how fucked up the books are. And it's not that. Again, I guess that I should have known, and you kind of know that they're not going to do that. Like in the show, they're not going to do. They did push the barrier a lot, but overall, the episode was really really fun. I think I expected a little more in terms of like because the pacing did seem to be going really fast. Like it was a very
Partially, I feel like that's every episode, though. Don't you feel like there's always a lot? They cover an
happening?
entire
Yeah.
movie
I
in
think
30 minutes. And you're
I
like,
think
whoa.
the pacing that really works
The
for
best?
the episodes,
Yeah.
the best is because the last one, the Doctor Strange one, was a lot. Even though I do like that one the best right now, but I think the T'Challa Star-Lord one is the one that's like
Yeah,
perfectly
well,
paced.
it's crafted as a heist. So
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
okay, we can do that in 30 minutes.
But this one's like a race against time to get a cure for a zombie, which is a pretty standard zombie trope in movies. And
Everyone's trying to cure it. Just live with it.
and then you have like questionable morals among characters, which is like really cool.
Vision's keeping a zombie Wanda alive.
Yeah.
Where
Yes,
it's like,
and
why are
then
you
feeding
splitting
him.
up?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And this is and you get lots of gore. You get like a lot of comedic moments. I think this may have been overdone by the
I think it needed it to balance out the depressing
because the Ant-Man
extreme.
the Ant-Man character is literally shooting one-liners every time
Yeah.
he speaks.
But he's
It's
also
your Paul
aware
Rudd.
that he's doing it.
Yeah.
I think he might have gotten mad. Like I think maybe we're not thinking into this, and we're being like maybe
he lost
just
his body,
Yeah,
John.
he's just
Cut him
crazy.
some slack. Damn.
He also probably suffers the worst loss out of everybody in
Yeah.
the show because he
He lost everybody, and
Hope.
it's really cool on how prominent him and Hope are because they're the ones who started this
Yeah.
version of it.
this version. So great episode though. Like I think it was a little short, but also like it ends off with a very perfect cliffhanger, which kind of mirrors last week's. Like, oh yeah, this universe is fucked.
Everything
like, nobody-
is there is this what do they call those moments that can't change from Doctor Strange? I forgot what they're called already.
Is it
fixed time points or nexus moments.
I forgot what they were called. Damn, we you know what I'm talking about. But it feels like those are consistent because at the end of most episodes, what was gonna happen anyways happens. Like the Avengers, there is a version of Avengers that come together with Nick Fury, even though Loki takes over the whole planet
Oh, yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
And at the end of this, Thanos still gets the the
Mind
gauntlet.
Stone.
And
So,
they're bringing him the stone.
yeah,
the
it's
last
all.
one.
There's like this inevitability that is, I feel like, is happening after every episode at least, which is really interesting.
It is cool though, but because again, you do twist it on its head, and
Yeah, it's
like there's
Cap
no
getting sucked in, like being like Cap's been missing for 70 years or whatever in a certain capacity.
It
And
almost seems like for the last 3 episodes, like the endings are the last 4, if you really do count the Loki, taking over the Earth, and
Yeah.
then him having to bring over like both captains, I guess Captain America and Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Every episode is ending on a down note. like
Yeah.
it's like
How was
this
the
universe
ending?
is not gonna work out like for each thing.
I was trying to think of the Star-Lord ending one, and I was like, oh, it's Ego the Living Planet.
Oh yeah, so
Yep.
even that one ended off pretty bad. I think the only one that ended off kind of good or hopeful was the Captain Carter episode because she just came back into existence and was like, "Oh, I had a date or something."
Yeah.
Classic.
But every other episode after that, like, kind of it implies that the world ends or the universe will end eventually.
I
like,
could see a huge crossover of like all these villains teaming up, like Ego. You have who's the next villain?
Zombie Thanos.
Zombie Thanos. And what did Yellow
Loki.
Jacket die? Oh yeah, Loki. Yeah, Loki. Yeah, exactly. All these people
The
uniting.
Collector. He's
And
dead.
then it's like the heroes are gonna unite too, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be like some
across the-
crazy crossover
across the stars.
Yeah, we still have yet to do like an Ultron episode, I think, in the future too.
Yeah.
So which is
that might
pretty
be
cool.
the Killmonger one that's up next, maybe.
But this zombie one was hell, like I'm trying to think of more moments from the show. I think it's really cool to see Spider-Man in
A leading role, like
In
he
a
was
leading
almost
role?
the lead
Yeah.
Avenger.
and it's pretty cool. Well, he's also like the beacon of light, like in this episode. I think Hope has
Is
a
the
really
Hope.
touching moment with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But like the fact that he's so like positive and then bubbly the entire time, like even though like
He has Doctor
everyone's
Strange's cloak now.
yeah, everyone's dead. Like it's just so funny. Everyone's like biting each other, and he's the one who has a sense of humor about it.
And it's really Avengers doing, and this is what was really fun about the comic books. It's a lot of these heroes trying to be heroic, and that normally means you become a zombie.
Yeah.
And it's like that in this series too, because it's Hope becoming a zombie, sadly. The Hulk, assuming, like he
survives, yeah.
Yeah, but he sacrifices himself, to
At
be
the very
like,
end,
I'll
yeah.
go, and it's that. It's, people are going to be taken, but also someone's going to try to be the hero. And I think they say that even in the very beginning. And they're like, ironically, the Avengers trying to save San Francisco is the reason why zombies took over the whole planet, because now they got Avengers' body.
Yeah, and the Avengers. Yeah, and then I guess we'll talk about the zombies too. I think the similarities between this and the Marvel Zombies comic is, other than it being a zombie story, the Avengers zombies know what to do.
Yeah,
Like
they're sentient in a way.
They throw their shields.
They use their powers, yeah, for sure.
Apparently Zombie Wong and Strange can make portals.
Yeah. Do they talk in the comic books? I feel like they kind of
They
talk,
talk
right?
in the
Yeah.
comics.
They did in this one though.
They just growl in this one. But actually no. John Favreau's Happy Hogan says blam blam blam. when
That's
he's
true. That's funny.
It is funny.
Yes, it is funny.
So yeah, I mean it's pretty cool that they and then this is like a very, in the books I think the zombies were only limited to supers, I think, because I think
And they just eat people.
yeah,
right?
and like the people were basically
Just
like
food
for them.
They eat all of them.
Yeah, they eat the entire world.
Nom 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 nom.
And then but in this one it's a zombie plague that affects everybody. So like it just like there's like hordes of Walking Dead zombies that just like there's battles with them, which is pretty cool. There's a what else am I missing here on the zombie thing? I guess zombie Thanos is like has a gauntlet, which is
Dangerous.
That part doesn't really make sense to me because he was coming to warn him, and I guess someone in space bit them, or
I don't know.
yeah, like maybe he landed in Wakanda and was just overwhelmed by a zombie.
You know what?
or
That makes
something.
sense. He lands right outside of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it happens in
the movie.
In the movie,
But a horde probably got to him. or something,
and
yeah.
then they still get in because it's still Thanos, and he has most of the
stones,
The stones already. Well, I want to talk about this. So, first, I enjoyed this episode. It was great, and I feel like the mix of all these characters was exciting because we haven't seen anything like this. There's some really heart-wrenching moments in this. I feel like they definitely played up the Vision Wanda thing. Their story is across the films, but that's, I think, a WandaVision thing too, to be like so tragic, and they're star-crossed lovers even as zombies, and it was a really nice moment for some intrigue in the middle of the movie, the show that happened. And then there's a lot of homages to zombie stuff. Even the fact they're on a train, I thought of Train to Busan, and all the fights that happen on a train. I was like, man,
Resident Evil.
I was like, man, there's a lot there. The Grand Central Station, like all this stuff that's like just rich in zombie stuff, pop culture. But I want to ask you all this: what's your favorite kill was, or favorite, I guess, hero zombie moment was? I'll ask you, Andrew, first. So you get the pick of the litter.
Did you say hero zombie moment?
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a kill in it. Yeah.
Oh no, there's no kill in mine.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
so that's why I was like either or. My favorite probably moment was getting to see the Hulk fight Scarlet Witch,
Yeah,
which was
that was
really,
big.
really fucking cool.
Yeah, that was pretty
Especially like a little stinger at the end, and it being Mark Ruffalo and
Yeah.
stuff like that for sure. But it just goes to show you that like when push comes to shove, he could have gotten the Hulk out in
Yeah.
Infinity War,
And
If
he's
he was,
strong
like-
as hell.
If he was close to like really, really close to dying, the Hulk wouldn't have let him die.
Yeah.
because the Hulk would have died too. And so,
And I think after WandaVision, well, so when we watched the Sophia tournament, she's like, "Oh, well, Scarlet Witch is gonna kill him," and I was like, "I don't know, the Hulk's pretty strong. I don't
Yeah.
think she's really Scarlet Witch even yet."
zombie.
Yeah, she's zombie.
She she
Wanda.
tried to bite him, and his skin turned green and didn't work.
Well, yeah, and you're right. Is that she's not really the Scarlet Witch yet because
Yeah.
she has to go through WandaVision, and she only went through the events of Infinity War so far. But I know she gave Thanos an ass clapping there too. But I thought that was a really, really cool moment. I guess I'll pick a kill anyway.
John. Oh wait, go pick a kill.
Well, because I don't want to get John's. But my favorite kill, even though it probably wasn't a kill, but mine was Bucky and Cap because of
The shield.
and also the homage of like what takes Cap out in the book also, where Magneto picks up the shield and starts to decapitate a whole bunch of them, and I was like, damn, the shield took him out in this one too. And it's a riff on the Winter Soldier when he catches it, when Cap's running after him,
Yeah.
and the Winter Soldier ends up catching the shield and then flinging it back.
But this time
It cuts him in two.
in
And
half.
so again,
Yeah.
which isn't really a kill. Maybe the next train will pass over him
Yeah.
and kill him, but he does chop him in two because the shield hits him exactly in the same spot as it does in Winter Soldier, where it's right in the chest. But since he's deteriorating, it goes through.
Yeah.
Cut in twain. John, what was your favorite? I guess you can pick either death moment or the
I think
Marvel
my
moment.
favorite zombie kill is when I was like, this is at this point, even though everything was already dark, but at this point it was dark. Is when Hope Van Dyne flies into Sharon Carter,
Yeah.
and then blows up Sharon Carter from the outside
From the inside out.
from the inside, yeah. And that was just
Sandman.
insane. There's a joke afterwards that to kind of cut the tension, like I've got Sharon on me or something.
That's funny.
But that
Ooh,
that part was like, whoa,
got red
and that's
on
also like that's a Thanos, like a going up the Thanos' ass type of thing. Like
Yeah.
just like you just expand while they're inside and just. So that's pretty funny that's not probably where they got it from. That's probably a kill in a show or
We've
something.
seen a couple of people die that way this season, and
Hulk.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
People just going inside other people and expanding.
Blowing up. Yeah.
But in this case, it was like a zombie, and it was pretty insane. And then it leads to my favorite, I guess, moment is when Hope is a giant version of the Wasp,
Stepping on
and stepping
all
on
the
zombies,
yeah.
and then she gets the survivors to safety, and she tells Peter to smile for her one last time.
It's a really dark episode.
That's
for
a
sure.
very dark ending.
Because
And
now I'm just realizing Vision kills himself, which is insane.
yeah, he pulls the
Can't
mind stone
live
out of
without
himself.
Can't live without Wanda.
Yeah, that's also like a crazy death. And then the Vision is like played by Paul Bettany, and I kind of forgot how much I missed him from watching WandaVision.
Especially after WandaVision, Vision's never gonna die. He'll be back all the time, baby.
It doesn't seem like Wanda and Vision are meant to work out. It's almost
No.
like it's kind of sad.
It's
a
bad.
fixed point, baby. One of you has to die.
Yeah.
But the Hope moment was really good. I think another
Hey,
touching moment
wait,
was,
hold on,
oh,
damn.
sorry.
My favorite the thing that made me kind of it maybe one of the most gruesome moments of this is when Okoye cuts Falcon
In twain.
in twain, but vertical instead of horizontal. They're like, which way should we cut him? But that to
Both
me,
Captain Americas end up.
that's true.
getting
No
cut in
Captain
twain.
Americas anymore. But when Okoye splits him, where the good Lord split him, I thought that was to me one of the coolest, at least visual moments of this episode, because that's when I was like, ooh, maybe they should put a disclaimer on this for kids because this is kind of hardcore. I can't think of a really. I mean, all of the
Damn,
moments.
Bucky died, right?
Yeah.
Against the Scarlet Witch.
Just threw him
Yeah.
far. Like
Oh, damn, he's survived.
dead.
Walking
No, he's
Dead
dead.
style, baby.
she Wolverined his ass.
No, he
Like,
probably
just like
punched the ground as soon as he landed.
That's true. I mean, I just
or
thought
landed in a pile of zombies.
I don't know.
got 8. But I mean, all of the thing at the end with Thanos, that really I thought was cool at the end before you start thinking like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But it also seems like much like Vision, who we're going to see over and over again. Thanos too. We're going to see Thanos a lot,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Especially if you're exploring these moments. But what you were saying that there was another moment that might have been dark.
It was a dark one, and also really sad is when because Ant-Man does turn off the jokes for a second when he sees a giant Hope.
Hope, yeah.
Yeah.
Hope zombie.
Yeah.
Who throws a zombie
A
at the
zombie
plane.
at the plane. Yeah. That's a funny part.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be another adventure.
I thought he was
And
gonna
I was
jump.
like, here we go.
I thought she was throwing like the Scarlet
The
Witch
Hulk.
over there or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, they cannot get away.
Yeah, I think that's what's really fun about this is they are like the comic book because even Scarlet or Wanda has some recognition of dead Vision. Zombie Wanda had some kind of
Yeah, she had a
that's-
reaction to it.
I don't know if that's a comic book thing. Maybe that's just a zombie thing because I mean zombies do tend to just do the thing that they did when they were humans a little bit too.
Yeah, according
in
to
movies.
the Romero rules and stuff.
Yeah.
And all this concept was thought up by Kirkman. And Kirkman just basically
Zombies do what they did.
Yeah.
before.
Pretty bleak episode, and especially with that ending, and then just the fact that they leave Hulk behind and he's fighting Wanda. Imagine if they were to turn Hulk, like good God, like
Yeah,
it
Hulk
he
is
would be like
Hulk is a
it,
huge one. Yeah.
and he'd be a hungry motherfucker.
Yeah.
just like in general, like so.
And would it be the Hulk version who's a zombie? Of course it would be, right?
Yeah,
for,
probably,
for Marvel. But yeah, well, let's. I guess anything
Hawkeye
else you want
sucks.
to talk about?
I guess he
Hawkeye?
sucks at aiming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he misses in
A
this,
lot.
but he's also a zombie. So
Yeah,
And also,
zombie,
what
yeah.
if one of his eyes is? What if he's cockeyed now?
that's true.
I was like, what if one of his eyes is all fucked up or like rotting
Wait,
away?
so instead of bullseye, he's now cockeye,
Yeah. Bullseye, Hawkeye.
Popeye.
Oh shit! They just went to black-eyed peas.
Okay,
Gotta eat that that, boom, boom, boom.
All right, well, let us know what you thought about
The
this.
Black Eyed Peas.
The Black Eyed Peas, if it's, 2011 or
Or
something.
2000 and late. I got that boom, boom, pow. That, I'm just kidding.
You are a huge fan.
No,
huh?
I fucking hate Black Eyed Peas.
Okay.
That's why I'm making fun of them. What the fuck?
Okay, well, let us know what you thought about this episode, or if you think the zombies should continue. Maybe tell us what your favorite kill is, even though I think we covered them all.
I think, yeah, probably. All the good
Basically,
ones.
I think we did.
Oh shit! I was about to say, but no.
Yeah, and then you would have covered them
yeah,
all
I
if you
would
would
have
have
covered
said
them all
it.
if I would have said something.
Well, let's go around the horn and let's do some plugs. Andrew, what do you have to plug?
Finally, thank you for letting me go first, because
Yeah.
now I'm gonna plug all of John's shit like the way he's always plugging.
Do it.
Plugging my shit.
I'm actually just like, I'm always like struggling to think of what the fuck to plug.
Yeah,
so
because there's
do it
so
all.
many.
don't have
Listen to Dirt Sheet Radio Director Showdown, Revenge of the Sequel is back. Countdown Strikes Back. Everything on the Patreon. Get vaccinated. Get waxed.
Vaccinated.
And
Manscaped.
also wear masks where appropriate, which is probably everywhere because the Delta be running wild on your ass.
Wow.
Shave your balls.
Yeah, Manscaped.
John, what do you have to plug?
In greater detail, I'm going to plug Revenge of the Sequel, even though Drew did kind of say that.
I said them all.
Revenge of the Sequel is going to be back pretty soon. We are
Back
going
and
to
better than ever.
Right, we're going to be watching some Halloween movies first, and then some traditional sequels afterwards, which include Suicide Squad and Lost World, and some other fun stuff that we're going to get into, which is going to be pretty awesome. And that's pretty much what I'll plug here, other than go get vaxxed and wear a mask if you haven't.
All right,
so that we can get on with this shit.
Ooh, well, yeah, definitely. Go to patreon.com/selfandpod if you want to support the pod. There's exclusive episodes there, and you can already listen to the first 4 or 5 episodes of Revenge of the Sequel months before the public hears them. You'll hear our dirty little voices on there. But we'll see you next week. Bye.